The good, the bad, and the ugly of Sudbury. Everything you need to know. If you're looking to move here, you're maybe getting a new job, or you're immigrating to Canada and Sudbury is your choice, or maybe you just want a better quality of life and you're moving from a big city. Well, these are things that you must know about Sudbury that are either good and bad. I'm going to be truly honest about Sudbury, the good and the bad. I love Sudbury myself. I love living here, but there are some negatives. A lot of positives, some negatives. So I'm going to start with the positives and we'll get right into it. So I'm Tristan Ritchie. I'm a realtor here. I love Sudbury. I help people buy and sell. This helps you. This video, please like, subscribe. Truly, truly helps. I really appreciate it. And I want to get right into it. First of all, the good aspects of Sudbury. Here's things that I love about our city. So number one, the diversity. It's really getting better. We're really starting to celebrate a lot of the cultures. So there's like the Greek Fest that just happened, the Japanese Fest, the Indian Fest. So many great events here in Sudbury, and they're so fun to go to because you get to try new foods, experience their music, the way they celebrate. And it's so different from what I'm used to, but it's great to see Sudbury kind of growing out of there. Even just the 25 years that I've been here, it's changed so much. Sudbury is considered the hub of the North. People travel all over for our business, culture, education, and our hospital. We're like that city where if someone needs something from a smaller town, they come to Sudbury to our hospital to get that treatment. It's like we do with Toronto, right? If we need a super specialized treatment, we go to Toronto. But we're that part for Northern Ontario. Number three, we have affordable housing. We're still the biggest city in the north, but we also have super affordable housing. $450,000 for a brick bungalow, when in Toronto, that same detached brick bungalow is $1.4 million. That's still very affordable in those terms. And an average Canadian rent, an average Canadian housing, we're still below the average. Number four, we have some of the top schools. We have two colleges, a French and an English, Cambrian and Collège Boreal. We have Laurentian University, but we had one of the top-rated elementary schools in Ontario. That's RLBD. They've since dropped a couple spots, but they're still quite high up there. A lot of people want to live in a certain neighborhood just so their kids can go to that one school. And one of my favorites, there's outdoor activities to do all year long. Winter and summer. In the summer, there's so many hiking trails. There's a conservation area where you can go that's right around Laurentian that has kilometers and kilometers of biking trails in several areas. Our city has these conservation areas just in the middle of the city too, so you don't have to go far. You want to drive 45 minutes, you can go to Killarney, which is a gorgeous hike called the Crack. There's so much to do if you're into the outdoors. Canoeing, paddling, kayaking, if you want to do paddle boarding, swimming, all of that. We have lots of beaches, obviously, with all our lakes. And then in the winter, there's cross-country skiing. There's Science North if you want to do something inside. And we have a few downhill slopes, although those are pretty small, so maybe it's not for everyone. Now I'm going to go over the negatives. You really need to know these. You need to know what you can expect for the bad of Sudbury. We're not perfect, obviously, no city is, but here it goes. Number one is our downtown area. Our downtown area is getting better. There's a few new restaurants that are pretty fun to go to, like Tugo's Tacos. They're trying to revive it a little bit because it was dying there for a little bit. There's been some cases of homeless, drugs, which I know a lot of downtowns have, but they do find some needles downtown in certain areas. I'm not afraid of going downtown by any means, but it's just someone might walk by and ask you if you have drugs on you. Things like that, right? You might see someone tweaking out on the side of the road, which I know it happens in Toronto as well, but we have that here. So there's a lot of complaints about that here in Sudbury. All in all, not dangerous. We don't really hear of murders and stuff like that, like anything major, but it is something that they are working on trying to improve. The roads, this one sucks. If you have a car, you're driving, you got to be careful of the potholes. Everyone's always complaining about that, but that's because of number four that I'm going to talk about. But our winters are really cold, so it's hard to keep the roads perfect when there's freezing with water. You know, it cracks the concrete, creates potholes. So they're constantly fixing them in the summer, which closes 2 lanes down to 1, a little bit more traffic, kind of annoying in the summer and whatever. Then you have all the potholes and stuff that you're hitting with your car, so you got to swerve a little bit. Traveling in our bus system isn't the greatest. They're working on it. They're improving it as the city grows. But traveling to the outskirts is not super easy. The buses don't go as often as they would to, let's say, Laurentian or University, right? Not really a walking city. You can still take the bus anywhere in the city. It's just a little bit slower than it would be in bigger cities like Toronto. But again, that's going to improve with the amount of population which is growing. traveling. So getting around is a little bit more tricky than it normally would be. So if you're moving here, think about getting a car if you need to get to the outskirts or want to live in the outskirts. If you're in town, it's actually not so bad depending which neighborhood that you're living in. And then last is our winters are long and cold. So bring your mitts, your toques, a big parka. Dress warm, be ready to be super warm, overdress in super cold. We can get to like, with the wind chill, like minus 35, minus 40. That super cold doesn't really last that long, but there is snow for a long period of time. So just be prepared for that. Scraping your car in the morning, shoveling your driveway, just all those little things that maybe you wouldn't think of if you're in a hotter climate at this moment. The snow, although on the bright side, can be fun. I love the winter. There's winter activities that you can do. It looks gorgeous when the snow falls on the trees. So it does have its positives if you're well dressed. So that's it for this video. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any time. Again, I help people buy and sell in Sudbury, and I just like to make these videos for you guys. So talk to you soon.